So I'm Farzan Kassam. I'm a senior manager at BMO Financial Group. My team is responsible for building enterprise strategies on a global basis. That includes in the United States, Canada, China, and Hong Kong. I have an MBA from the University of Toronto and grew up and was born in Vancouver, Canada. I'm extremely passionate in life about business, and the reasons for it is that if we look at the fundamental basis of change in our society, in the world, it's based on business, on economic development. If we look at countries like China, Russia, India, Brazil, they've lifted hundreds of millions of people out of poverty through the wonder of economic development, and underpinning all of that is business. That's why I'm extraordinarily passionate about it and want to share that with people throughout the world. University of Toronto is known mostly for their finance strength within the Masters of Business Administration. So I would say that the school really focused heavily on that component, finance number one, business strategy number two, and then probably on some of the more soft skills like leadership development as well as presentation skills, the things that you really need to turn your idea into reality. So I think first, I don't think there can ever be too many people in commerce, whether they're Chinese students or Canadian students or whatnot. I think that if we look at the aggregate view of our world, we need more business people. It's the business folks that are the innovators of ideas, that bring ideas from innovation through to completion and launch it in the marketplace as services and products. It's also business people who can help fix some of the challenges that we face in emerging countries or even in nonprofit organizations. So I think the more people we have in commerce, the better. Having said that, what are some of the things that a Chinese commerce student can do when they get out of the program? What are some of the things they could focus on? I would say first and foremost is to go into industry. So work for a large company, preferably something with a good brand name, so that if you do choose to go back to China or if you want to go to other parts of the world, you have the ability to take that brand name with you and easily find a job. It just opens up more freedom and gives you more flexibility in your choices. Do that for perhaps 2 to 3 years so that you gain insight into the processes, the systems, the culture that are created in large organizations. But the key thing is after you've done that, my recommendation would be to start your own business from a young age. So when you graduate from university, you'll be roughly 22, 23 years old, go work for 2 or 3 years, and at the age of 25, 26, go out and try and start your own business. You'll have learned enough from the large company to understand the basics. You'll have got your good education behind you as your foundation, and now you can build upon that with your own business. And you can do that in Canada, United States, in China, or wherever you want around the world. But that foundation will allow you to build that with a really strong base. I think there's always the challenge of whether if it's myself going to China to study or if it's a Chinese student coming to Canada to study, there's always the language barrier. And I'd say that's probably the number one thing to be aware of, is that to have some knowledge of English, and if I was to go to China, for me to have some knowledge of Mandarin. I think the other opportunity that the students have when they come to Canada is to not forget to bring some of their Chinese culture with them. And the goal in Canada is not to just come here and become a Canadian. The goal in Canada for our society is to bring your culture into Canada and to allow us to learn from your culture as well. So while you come here and you can learn about Canadian culture and Western culture, it's equally important to not forget to bring your Chinese culture, because that's what we really value here in Canada. I think the only advice I would give to Chinese students who are thinking of doing an MBA or studying business as an undergrad is that they should certainly do it, because if you look at China's development, you look at the global development that's occurring in emerging countries especially, it's all being driven by business. And so if you really want to make a difference in this world, one way to achieve that is through the mechanism of conducting business. And so having an education from Canada, United States, United Kingdom, China, as long as it's within a realm of business, you now have a tremendous opportunity, a global opportunity, to not only change your world, but to change the world around you. So I'd highly recommend the Chinese students seriously look at business as one path to take in their future. So the goal for this year's conference is very much like we did last year, is to provide the local students with a taste of what it's like to do an MBA in a Canadian university. So we'll be teaching 3 courses that are really key to a successful MBA student. Number 1 is finance, number 2 is business strategy, and then number 3 will be on excelling at presentation skills. And if you have those 3 components, I think you have a really good start at understanding what business is like, as well as understanding what an MBA will be like if you do decide to come to Canada or the University of Toronto to do your MBA. Welcome to the 2011 UTXL conference. I'd like to welcome all the Chinese students that have come here this year. I'm going to be teaching the MBA Light program, as you know, and I hope that you'll feel inspired and invigorated by the content that I'll be presenting. If we look at where China is today in the world, we know that business has been the key driver of change in the Chinese economy. If you come to my course, I believe very strongly that it'll give you a great foundation to learn about finance, business strategy, and presentation skills. So please do come and attend my seminar. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Thank you again for watching our omelet video.